Look! He's looking at me! He's literally looking at me right now. He's like, hey, what's up? Oh, never mind. Whoa. That is some heavy stuff right there. Hello and welcome back to the Ronin, and, well, as you can see, we're back at Courtyard Castle. Now, I'm not really going to be doing too much here. Basically, I'm just wanting to show you my, shall we say, more default strategy for taking things off screen. So basically, this is what I do when I'm off screen and I want to take something and I don't really want to lose too many units, if any. Now, the main problem with this is that, as I've said before, it would be nice if I had an option of some kind to be able to disable the ability for my people to place their units from their armies into the garrison as defenders. That would be the perfect setting to have. Unfortunately, I do not have that. There is not enough customization, in my opinion, in that regard, and as a result, I end up losing more units by them placing people in the garrison than I actually do in the siege itself. As you can see right here, I just do a very swift auto-resolve, and we get 5 casualties as a result of that. Really nothing to worry about at all. Oh yeah, by the way, I've been running around Tetsujin lands quite significantly, and as you can see, I've also leveled up a lot of these Tetsujin, just literally doing auto-resolve sieges. That's literally the only way that I've been leveling up right now. I have also been taking a couple of people prisoner too. Yeah, a couple. And all of these guys have been pretty much running around with about 100 to 200 units in their army, and obviously they just get caught out. They just get caught out, they get trapped, they get caught by some of our faster moving vassals or something like that, you know, some of the Tetsujin, and so on. Anyway, as you can no doubt tell, look at this. 68. We just lost 68 units purely for the garrison, and that's it. And we lost 5 as a grand total in the actual battle part of the siege itself, which in my opinion is absolutely unacceptable. I feel like that is super sad. Anyway, thankfully they're not giving a huge amount of units of the Tetsujin over to the garrison, because generally what I tend to do, my strategy for taking and indeed leveling up Tetsujin units, I think I mentioned it briefly in a previous episode, but if you didn't manage to catch that, or if you just generally missed it in that episode, then I'm just going to go over it very quickly again. Basically, it's just running around Tetsujin territory, allowing our people to recruit as many volunteers as we can possibly get, and then taking those volunteers, and indeed they actually do level up as well while they're in their care, and taking basically every Tetsujin unit from them, and then just swapping them around with the units that we have in our garrisons. So in other words, Imperials and so on. So that really makes a huge difference in the viability of our army strength, because without that, it's going to take a long time for me to get an army capable of actually doing anything. Now, bear in mind that obviously this is only doable because this is a modded version of the game, which means that, you know, you too can play with the exact same settings that I have right here. My mod load order and the list of mods that I'm actually using is in the description, so you can obviously take a look at that if you want to. Now, I'm thinking we're going to go over to Vostrum here. Yeah, here we go. Look, they're running out of food. That is fantastic. Unfortunately, I'm also running out of food because I have been, well, pretty busy, you know, running around trying to maintain some form of order in and around our sort of northwestern territories. Because here's the thing: we're only at war against the Battanians, as far as I can tell. Let me actually just take a quick look at the world map real quick. All right, so this is what's currently going on. Oh, no, never mind. We're actually at war against the Kuzait. I think that actually just happened. Yeah, I think that actually just happened. That is fantastic. This is actually something I would like to do. All right, let me see if I can make this work. Okay, I'm actually a little bit worried because I'm not sure what I should focus on here. I'm in two minds about this, because on the one hand, I would love to be able to focus on beating back the Battanians, because there's an army very close by, as you can see right there. Look at that. They're hemorrhaging units right now. Okay, this is perfect. As you can no doubt tell, they're trying to get into Vostrum, and they are hemorrhaging units so dramatically that by the time they get here, they're probably going to have about 800, I would assume. And I don't think there's going to be any food here waiting for them, and I wonder why that is. I wonder why there's not going to be any food here waiting for them. I'm just going to buy the oil, because I do want to prevent them from taking that. Ah, there you go. Look at that. They automatically knew that there wasn't any food left over in the marketplace, and as a result they are now changing their destination to Poros. Now I have to be very careful here, because at this point in an army's dispersion, they will disperse very fast, and if you are not fast enough yourself, you're gonna miss it, and then most of the enemies will be able to escape, which is obviously not what we want, because I would like to be able to... Ooh, nice, look at that. That's a wonderful, wonderful capture from Hanzo right there. But yeah, what I'd like to do is try to completely destroy them in every single definition of the word. And then hopefully... they're starting to recover now. Alright, okay, so they're starting to recover, so I think we're going to head in here, and we'll see what we can do. Oh, this is actually not... You know what? I'm gonna leave again, and I'm just gonna see whether maybe we can do a little bit better than this, because I don't really want to fight them when they have 700, if at all possible. I'd like to fight them when they have about maybe 600 or maybe 500, if we can make it work. Where are they heading to now? They're actually just running from me right now. So let me just see. They're traveling to Vostrum. Okay, so there must be some food left over in here now. Let me have a look. If there's any food in here, I'm buying it. Yeah, there's some wine and there's some oil in here. So I'm just going to buy that and prevent them from getting it. That is absolutely hilarious. Don't worry. Don't worry. They're not dying from starvation. They're just becoming knocked unconscious. So... it's not a purely evil act, at least. Not at the moment, at least. I mean, the Battanians have been an absolute thorn in our side for a very, very long time, and I'd like to try and drive the point home to them that they probably should not decide to attack us any further. At least I would prefer if they didn't. Okay, so it seems like more food is now available in Vostrum. Oh, this is just absolutely dancing basically a ballet of death around them, to be honest. I mean, literally, look at that. There's some grain, olives, grapes, cheese, beer, wine, oil. Take all of that, and then they're going to change their... Yep, look at that. They're going to change their direction once again. That is fantastic. Okay, I'm actually aiming for a bit of an auto-resolve here, but I wouldn't mind fighting the Battanians, to be honest. I feel like fighting them is pretty fun. Ah. Get him! Yeah, there we go. Ooh, now that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Okay, so technically, if I was off screen right now, I would just auto-resolve this, get these guys out of the way, get them taken prisoner as soon as possible, but because this is a, because this is a video for the series, we're going to be going in manually and we're going to see what we can do. Maybe we can try and level up our skills a little bit more. I obviously do have quite a few points left until I get to 150 crossbow, but I would like to be able to work on that a little. And there we are. All right. So this is this is actually a pretty easy battlefield. I don't think we really need to worry about this too much. And I would assume that the morale of our opponent is so dramatically in the depths of, well, nothingness, basically, right now, that we should have a pretty easy time of causing them to rout as well. And routing is pretty good. You know, it's going to definitely thin out the opposing force quite a lot. But we have to be careful about it as well, because that is going to provide escape routes for a lot of units. And if we're not careful, they're going to escape with many, many units. And then they'll be able to reform an army very fast, and then we'll have some problems. So hopefully that's not going to happen, and this is exactly the reason why I love it when the AI runs around with really, really big armies, and they're not close to any friendly town. And that's the reason why you've generally got to think about things. You know, if you're going to try and take something, so like if you're going to try and take I don't know, try and take an enemy fief or something like that, you should probably be a little bit careful about where you're taking it, because on the one hand, sure, you know, you're taking an enemy fief, but if you have nothing nearby that is actually going to assist you logistically, then that's obviously a pretty big problem to have, you know, especially not being able to resupply your food. And generally, I've made this mistake myself. You know, don't worry, I've made that mistake myself, that's for sure. But in general, it is something that I've learned over the course of this campaign and many others, that logistics is just as important as combat prowess. So even if I am not particularly the most deadly of warriors, because let's face it, I'm certainly not, but, you know, it helps, I guess. It helps a little bit. But, yeah, generally, having food and being able to manage your cohesion, that is super, super important. Anyway, we're going to tell our infantry to charge in. My archers are a little bit too forward here. Not a big fan of that. But I guess they'll be alright. I guess they'll be fine. As you can see, most people are now routing, which is perfectly fine with me. Not a problem there. And these guys are using their shields, so it's obviously going to be more difficult for me to hit them. Take him down, thank you. Any of these Imperial Sergeant crossbowmen that we can kill, the better, because they are very dangerous. They can do a lot of damage in a hurry. Take out that guy's horse at least. If I can't get the rider, then I'm happy to take out the horse, because that's going to reduce their mobility so significantly. Let's tell my archers to charge in now as well. I believe everyone else is also charging, but you could see here from the ratios at the top of the screen that we are more than fine. Even if they would continue to receive reinforcements, I do not think that this is going to be anything we have to worry about. I will, however, tell my archers to hold position round about here, because this is going to give them a good vantage point, and as long as they have that, that's all I can ask for. Oh, that guy. Yeah, he had targeted me long before I even got there. That was actually fantastic. That was super, super amusing to me. Alright, well, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I think I did alright. You know, I didn't do too badly. I got a couple of kills here and there, but my main reason for being in this particular battle was to make it so that the auto-delegation didn't take over too early. Because personally, I don't really mind dying in games. It just doesn't really affect me that much, but that's the point. I just didn't want to have the auto-delegate take over too soon, and I think we accomplished that. But there you go, we actually took out an extremely large contingent of Battanian vassals, which is exactly what we wanted to do, and we're going to be able to capture all of these people as well, and they even have some Tetsujin units for us to rescue, which is fantastic. That is basically the cherry on top, pretty much. The cherry on top. Look at this. They have a huge amount of Tetsujin units. Wow. I'm actually really surprised. Usually there are not that many Tetsujin units for me to rescue. Usually most people have, I don't know, Imperials, Kuzait, maybe some Azurai here and there. But pretty happy to find those, that's for sure. That is going to really reinforce our people. And yeah, also what we're going to be doing now is we're going to have 57 troops to add to our various vassals. So they're going to be taking all of those. And they'll take the prisoners as well, which is going to be really nice. We have additional war horses and things. And look at that! 2 of them perished in the battle. That's fantastic. Great. Alright, yeah, so as you can see, this guy has taken some of the spare units that we had left over. And it seems like someone was defeated by the Battanians. Hanzo's army was defeated by the Battanians. I'm actually not sure where that is. Unfortunately, I can't tell that. Well, that's kind of sad. But Yoshinobu also has an army running around with about 400 units or so, I'm going to be heading on over to Kuzait territory because I would like to try and refocus our efforts on them as much as we possibly can. Now that the Battanians have been defeated so dramatically, there's only one army of theirs still roaming around, and hopefully they will, well, maybe think a bit more deeply about whether they want to continue this campaign against us. At least I can only hope that to be the case. I need to really level up my crossbows. We're at 142. I really need to just get into a siege or something like that so that I might be able to do just that little bit more with it. Because obviously in a field battle, I don't really want to be an infantryman if I can help it. Because if I'm an infantryman, I'm going to be dramatically less useful than I normally am, and I know, you wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't even believe that I could be less useful, right? I mean, come on. But anyway, let me see if I can just get these guys out of the way super fast. We're just going to literally do my strategy once again. Technically, I've actually been experimenting a little bit with siege towers. Not these siege towers right here, but trebuchets, basically. So I've basically been experimenting with building one trebuchet, and then building a lot of really, really fast constructing siege behind it, because then what you can basically do is that all of the enemy siege is going to be concentrating on that first construction, at least for a little bit of time, and then your other ones, the faster firing ones, like whether they be catapults or ballistas, they're going to have a pretty significant amount of time to fire a little bit, and in that time then maybe you're going to be able to weaken them a lot, and maybe it's going to take some heat off your trebuchet and so on. But obviously that does end up taking a couple more casualties than you'd like, but I'm just pointing it out just in case you wanted a bit of a different strategy to use in a siege, especially considering not everyone has a massive army like this, not everyone has a decent engineering skill. I mean, I think I've got it's all right, you know. I've got what, 230? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty high. So, you know, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea to literally just build trebuchets all over the place. Okay, so we're just going to be sending these units in. We lost a grand total of 3. Bear in mind that there are no walls remaining in this particular fief, so that's a bit of a problem. And once again, I really hate that. That if one thing could change, I would very much like it to have that option. Especially in this series right now, it is kind of grinding my gears a little bit to have my units give away like 60 units for nothing in some random person's garrison. You know, it kind of grinds my gears quite hard. But anyway, let's get in here. And this is a Kuzait army, so I'm literally just going to auto-resolve this. We lost 188 units as a result of that. But, as you can quite clearly tell, we are now getting more Tetsujin, which is exactly what we wanted. I believe these were the fellows that maybe defeated Hanzo, because they have quite a few Tetsujin in their prisoner hold, so that might very well be the case. Anyway, let's just leave that. Let's get out of there. And we are going to hopefully take a lot of them prisoner. I am hopeful that that will be the case. And maybe some of them will die. Actually, I don't think any of them will die, because we didn't go into a manual battle with them. Because here's the very fun thing. When you do an auto-resolve, no one dies. Yeah, that's kind of... I don't know. I personally feel like that shouldn't be the case. I feel like everyone should have a chance to die at every single time. Every single engagement that you do, whether that be, you know, some random battle against bandits, auto-resolving or whatever. But obviously the calculations required to work out whether someone dies in an auto-resolve, yeah, may be a little bit difficult. You know, I'd actually like to see something real quick. After we've done a little bit of bombarding of Erzina Castle, because bear in mind that they did take this, that was the reason why I believe Hanzo's army was defeated, because he was attempting to defend this, potentially. I'm not entirely sure, but whatever the case, that army that we just defeated was very, very damaging, and as a result, obviously we ended up losing quite a few units, and I can only assume that it was much, much more powerful when Hanzo was defeated. So we're obviously going to be doing something to, well, to avenge him, I guess. I mean, now he's perfectly fine because he's been released from his captivity and all that stuff. So I assume they must have placed him in some nearby garrison or something like that. If it was indeed that army, I obviously don't know whether it was or not. It might have been a Battanian army, actually. I'm not entirely sure at this point. Anyway, let's do another auto-resolve to get these guys out of the way super fast. And then we're going to take a look at the diplomacy screen. That was the main thing that I wanted to do, because if we can take a look at that and see exactly what's going on, then we're going to have a much broader understanding of what's going on here. So let's have a look. All right. Whoa, okay. Wow. Yeah. Right. Okay, so the Battanians are absolutely insane. I don't even know what to say to this. I have no idea what to say to this. I mean, the Kuzait, as you can quite clearly tell, are no match for us. However, the Battanians, they are literally just murdering everything in sight. I'm actually kind of surprised. What's going on with the Battanians? Ah, yes, I see. Okay. Yeah, so they've basically taken over all of these towns down here and around here. So Lycaron and Zeonica and Poros, because I believe those were not... those were not anything to worry about before, because they were still, you know, Southern Empire or whatever, Western Empire or something like that. But, yeah, so they've obviously been taken, and that is a big problem. But here's the thing. Look at the Kuzait. The Kuzait only have a handful of fiefs remaining, and I would love to be able to eliminate them. I really, really badly would, because every single campaign I've done up until this point, well, pretty much every single campaign, that is, has always resulted in the Kuzait being the last enemy. And I would very much like to prevent that eventuality from happening this time around. I think it could be a lot more fun to have something else, you know, to have some other opponent in the end. That would be much more dynamic, much more interesting to deal with. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm not actually voting for myself or anyone else at this point. Oh, are you serious? Hello there. Oh, wow. You have a massive army of heavy horse archers. Look at this guy. He's got 75 heavy horse archers, and he has over 100 Dark Khans as well. Okay, yeah, I'm no match for this guy. No way. He's going to besiege Urzina Castle. Yeah, you're welcome to do that if you want to. I'm going to besiege this town. You can come back in a second and say hi to me, because no doubt he is going to do that. 100% he's going to do that. So let's just see if I can maybe do a little bit of damage before he decides to turn around. I don't know whether he's going to do that just yet. He might decide to take the castle beforehand, or... yeah, I mean, he's going to be super fast to do that. I mean, literally, he will take Urzina Castle in like 2 seconds, pretty much. And the Battanians are also causing a great deal of problems for us. Let me actually, you know what? I'd like to take a look at the Tetsujin. Can I see what kinds of... wait a minute. Let me see here. Can I tell how many clans are actually in... Oh, we've got quite a... oh, no, wait. I think this is artificially inflated, because you can see here that we have a couple of mercenaries. So if we discount these, we have, what? I don't know. 8 or so? Yeah. 8, 9, something like that. And Varos is obviously a part of... well, technically he is an Imperial, I believe. So he's going to have slightly less powerful units, unless he's running around with Tetsujin people. So that would obviously make sense. But most of these clans, I don't know whether you noticed that, but most of these clans actually have only 1 or even 2 active fighters. So that's obviously a big problem, because that means that one of these clans results in 1 to 2 vassals actually being out on the world map, and that is probably the reason why we're having so many difficulties with the Battanians. We are spread extremely thin, and that's causing us some pretty big issues. Yes, pretty big issues indeed. Alright, so we have all of our siege equipment up and running. Technically I could do an auto-resolve here and probably pretty confidently win and take this, but it would obviously result in a lot of casualties on our part. So let's see what we can do to try and destroy them a little bit more. I've got to be very, very careful here. I'm turning the camera around just to make sure that I don't miss that large army sneaking up on me, because no doubt they will want to do that. They're pretty sneaky, you know. They're pretty sneaky, so we want to try and prevent any kind of covert action being undertaken by them. And they already have a couple of vassals laying in wait, and we really don't want them to pounce on us if that large army gets close, because these guys are super fast. They're going to be able to outrun me very quickly and easily. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. We had another army be destroyed. Fantastic. Good work. Good work. Look at that. So that army that is running around, or was running around, attempting to take things from us, has now been defeated. So that's really, really good. That's great news. Okay, wait. Hello there. Alright, here's another one. Okay. I'm getting a bit antsy here. I'm getting a bit antsy. I feel like I might have to go in manually here, actually, rather than an auto-resolve. Oh, what? What destroyed this guy's army? You see this guy's army? He was running around with what? Wasn't he running around with like 750 or something like that? What took his army down such a peg? Wow, I have no idea. But what I do know is that we're going to be leading this assault in a manual siege. This is something that we haven't done in quite some time, so I thought, why not? Let's let's just go ahead and do it. And wow, it's pretty picturesque around here, actually. The snow is really nice. Ah, wow, look at that. All right, well, this is a bit problematic because obviously we don't have the walls down or anything like that, and I don't know what their composition is like, but I can only be hopeful that we have eliminated enough of the enemy's garrison to hopefully remove some of the higher tier units. But saying that, I don't know whether that really makes that much difference, because militia, they can be pretty good, you know? They can be surprisingly good. Oh, that was a bad miss. Nice. Oh, that was a good hit. Okay. Whew. Seems like I redeemed myself right away. Very good. Who's this guy? Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Every single time we're able to do something like that, I'm always like, yes, I like it. And wait, what? Did you see that? Wow. Okay. I'm kind of speechless. I thought to myself, nah, that's not going to hit. But apparently it did. I feel like I should have gotten like 10,000 experience for that shot. Oh well. Wasn't that difficult, I guess. Okay, so let's see. Ah, he got murdered. Look at that. Tetsujin veteran longbowman stealing my kills. Ah, how dare you. Ah, well, never mind. I'm fine. As long as they get killed, that's all that matters. Oh, this is kind of easy pickings right here. These guys literally just standing here, allowing me to headshot them. I'm not entirely sure why they would decide to do that without firing back or anything. Okay, let's see if I can replicate that. Oh, I did it again? What? I thought it was lucky the first time. What? Okay. Wow. Right. Okay. I seem to have entered the Twilight Zone in this episode. It seems like my crossbow skills are somehow dramatically much better than they have been in recent times. And I'm very pleased to say that, to be honest. I mean, I like to have them be like this the whole time, but, you know, we can't always get what we want. Is there another person on that? What? I got him again? Okay. Wow. You know what? That's 3 for 3. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to shoot in that direction any further because I'm kind of wanting to keep my record, you know? I'm kind of wanting to keep the 3 for 3 record. I think that's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty fair distance. You know what? I'm going to try it. Yeah, it was a bit too uncomfortable, and he's been killed now anyway. All right. I suppose I don't have to worry about him too much then. Okay, so we're going to go up one of the little siege towers here, and we're going to see what we can do. And hopefully my people will not get stuck. Oh, come on. Don't get stuck, guys. Come on. Do a better job. Do a slightly better job. There we go. All right. This is better. You know, I feel like the enemy should have some, I don't know, have some rocks at the battlements here and just drop them on us as we're, you know, as we're climbing up the ladder. I mean, that would probably make more sense than dropping them on us somewhere else, right? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's probably not going to be that viable for them to literally have a stack of stones somewhere on the battlements here. That's probably not going to really be... Whoa, murdered. Yeah, probably not going to be that viable, but, you know, I just thought, why not? Nice. Actually hit someone from there. Hitting their shield now. But I'm at 145 now. Fantastic. That's actually really good. Oh, there's that guy. Hit him in the abdomen. Not exactly what I wanted. This guy's going to get on here. I'm going to shoot him in the butt. Yes, that is what I will do. Shoot that guy in the head. More experience for me. Missed. Are you serious? Come on. Don't miss. What? Again? This guy is protected by some kind of magical field. Of course. That must be it. It can't just be that because I'm a little bit inept right now for some reason. After those magical shots, I am all of a sudden now absolutely useless for some reason. Okay, so let me see if I can maybe just reload here. I have 2 more shots. Did they... Oh, was it... oh, actually, did you see that? Was that actually crossbow bolts on the floor there? That would have been nice. Well, whatever the case. Come on, do some damage. I've got a very fast close quarters weapon here. I might as well use it to its greatest effect. These guys can't do anything against me in melee because they are indeed archers. They don't have anything... Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to just switch to my crossbow here. Going to shoot this guy if I can. Shoot him in the arm? He shouldn't be able to use that. He shouldn't be able to use that. Look! He's looking at me! He's literally looking at me right now. He's like, hey, what's up? Oh, never mind. Whoa. That is some heavy stuff right there. That is some heavy stuff. Whoa, okay, wait a minute. What is he trying to do? Sir, now is not the time. Now is not the time to mount the ballista. It is not for mounting. Alright. That is hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Okay, well, moving on swiftly, I suppose. Anyway, let's try and do some damage behind these guys. Maybe we can level up my one-handed to 100 or something. Might be happening soon, maybe? Oh, no, never mind. I'm probably going to die instead. Yep, seems like it. Maybe not. Nice. Where are all my people, by the way? I'm actually not sure. I'm gonna switch to my polearm for a second. Oh, hello. Murdered. There's a lot of people down in the courtyard here. I suppose I should probably thin them out a little bit. They're probably causing a bit of problems. Many, actually. How many times do I have to hit this guy's shield before it gets destroyed? Oh, there we go. That was hilarious. Really did not want to get into melee range with him. Basically, I don't want to get into melee range with anyone anymore because I feel like I'm probably going to die. So I'm just going to try and use my polearm to the best of its effect. In other words, it's got length. Oh yeah, it's got length.
Die, you pig!
Chase him down. Chase him down. Come on now. Yes. There we go. I really wish I had more crossbow bolts. I feel like I should have like, I don't know, 40 crossbow bolts or something like that, but then I would have to replace one of my other items, and that's obviously not something that I'm really willing to do because every single thing that I have right now is pretty useful. Nice. Oh, there's one more. Get me to 100. Oh, never mind. Oh, I'm already at 100. Oh, I need to be at 125, and I made it to 124. Well, I suppose that's... I suppose that's good enough. We only lost 32 in that battle, which is actually pretty good, but we did take significant casualties in regards to wounded troops, but obviously they can get back on their feet after a couple of days of rest. Oh no, we lost one of our people. That is not very good. You know why that's not very good? Because now we have to literally go outside and pick up his party. There we go, join me, and then we can go back into Ortengard. If that army had been closer, I would not have done that, and then we would have lost 125 relatively high-tier troops, which would have been absolutely terrible. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.